Hey guys, welcome back. I'm here with my buddy Will, and today he's going to tell me about his VANAGON Volkswagen van.
Hey everybody, today we're here talking about my VANAGON, I want to call it. That's just because it's a European spec vehicle. It is a 2.1 liter, 95 horsepower rear wheel drive. It's a 2-wheel drive model with an automatic transmission. So some of the features that are on the front of it, you can see it has the factory fog lights that are there. And that's all wired into the wiring harness with a switch on the dashboard. One of the luxury features only on the European models are the headlight washers. All right, I wouldn't really say they're very effective, but yes, when you hit the windshield washers, you get a jet of water shooting at the headlights also. All the way around this vehicle, you'll see the fiberglass bumper system. That's 360 degree wrap all the way around. It didn't normally come in this color. They were painted black after the fact. It used to be in a two-tone gray color on this model. As you can see, as we come down the side, one of the upgrades was the wheels. These are Renault R9 Pentas. You'll notice they came on mostly AMG Mercedes of the 1984, 85, 86 range. Very popular model on the T3, just because it gives it a little bit wider stance. One thing about the Renault R9s is it's very hard to find a center cap for the wheel. And these center caps are actually off of a Volkswagen Tiguan, current model year. So I bought a set of those and I 3D printed an adapter to make it fit into the actual wheel, the R9 wheel. So you can see there is a perimeter of 3D printing that fits the center cap from the Tiguan and just makes it a little bit wider, about a 1/4 inch wider all the way around. And then you can see when you put it in together on the center cap, pop it right in, it holds very tight. Also have power and heated mirrors on this model. And of course the sliding door, that's only one sliding door on this side. And as we continue all the way back to the back of the vehicle, you'll see that the fiberglass bumper still wraps all the way around the vehicle. In addition to this one, we have some light shadows or blackouts on the side of the tail lights, just to give it a little better look on the rear. And then also some window tint around the back 3 windows. Now this is an actual traditional tint. It is a mesh material that is put on the inside and applied to the inside of the window. I think it does a pretty good job, and when you look at it from a distance, it looks like standard factory tint. There's also a European trailer hitch on this one, and that is welded to the frame. All right, so here we are in the cabin of the vehicle, and you can see one upgrade here is a early 80s GTI steering wheel. I think it has a lot better look than the original T3 steering wheel. Also, the automatic transmission upgraded to a Bluetooth Alpine receiver, and that receiver is pumped into 10 speakers throughout the vehicle. Up here also you have your heated seat controls on top of the steering wheel. You have your cruise control. You have your cabin air conditioning and also heater and controls for the auxiliary heater that's underneath the back seat. All right, now let's go into the living room area. So I'm a big guy, I'm 6'5", and I fit in here just fine. Some of the changes that we've done, or actually let's just highlight what we have in here. We have a nice table that with just a handle folds down right into the wall. Attach some USB chargers here that are attached to the second battery in the van. Put new wall panels in. These are painted with a vinyl paint, very durable finish. So everywhere from the front driver and passenger seat back, all the wall panels have been replaced and upgraded to this fiberglass type wall panel. You have a full bench seat back here that folds down into a bed. It connects to a mattress that's behind the seat. And if you look at the flooring in here, this is a laminate flooring. It's one that pieces together. It sticks together almost like a jigsaw puzzle. We upgraded this about a year ago and put a carpet in back here just to make it a little bit more livable and enjoyable. So you have cup holders. Of course, this is a 1989 van, so you have a ashtray at every one of the seating positions. We're going to talk about the curtains now in the VANAGON, and you can see these are an aftermarket edition that were put on. You can see behind me that these curtains wrap around the entire rear of the vehicle, including the rear hatch. So the operation of these curtains, very simple. It's just a Velcro tab here in the middle, and these curtains are on a track So you undo the Velcro tab, spread them out across the window. You have the same thing in the front coming back, and right here at the gap where they meet, there's a snap that you just snap these two together, and it provides good shade or block out the view from the outside. All right, so we have one more curtain which actually closes off the front of the vehicle. Excuse the disco ball, that's actually from my daughter's Barbie dream house. All right, so what you do is you just unhook one of these hooks. It's on a cord. The curtain stretches all the way across and hooks onto the opposite side coat hook, and then you can stretch it out. Now, if you need a little bit more support, that's what we had a place you could tie it up here in the middle just to block out everything. But right now it's being occupied by a disco ball. So this is the Zee Bed in the back of the van, and what this does is it folds down and connects to the mattress behind this seat. It's a very simple operation. You just pick the front of the seat up and slide forward, and you'll see it drops down just like a convertible couch. And then you have a great size bed. This is really the hangout area outside the vehicle in the back. You've got a nice set of towel bars. This is straight from the factory, and that's what they are. They're actually towel bars. So if you're at the beach or something like that, or the lake, you want to come back and hang up a towel, dry it out a little bit, it's out here outside the vehicle. And this is a pretty good place to just grab a seat and hang out. So now I want to take a second to talk about the speaker system in the Type 3. And what we have is we have a second battery here in the back underneath the seat, and also an amplifier located here in the back. That's another 12 volts in that marine battery box that it's connected to. And what it does is it powers the two speakers here at the seat. If you look at the back of the vehicle on the ceiling, there are two more medium-sized speakers and then two small tweeters, and those both have crossovers in them so that you get the mid-range sound coming out of the medium-sized speakers, and then the high notes are coming out of the small tweeter speakers. Same setup in the very front. There are 6-inch speakers in the door, and then also some tweeters at the B pillars on the vehicle, or actually the A pillar on the vehicle. And there's a crossover underneath the dashboard that separates the sound signal so that you get the right notes going to each one of the speakers. So all in all, there's 10 speakers and a subwoofer here with an additional 12 volts of power just for the stereo system. Here's the auxiliary battery, the cabin battery in the VANAGON. This is a 12 volt deep cycle 100 amp hour battery that I put into a marine box just to keep it secure. It's tied in with a relay and a solenoid to the starter. So when you turn the key on, it actually clicks that solenoid and connects the batteries. It will use the second battery to help starting the vehicle, but it also charges the second battery when the vehicle is running, because it connects to that alternator, and the alternator charges both batteries in the vehicle. Also important when you turn the key off that the solenoid will disconnect and you won't get any battery drain while the vehicle's turned off. Battery is connected to the amplifier. It's also connected to a cigarette lighter attachment back here, and it also powers the USB charger on the table. So as I said, this is a 1989 VANAGON. It is a water-cooled model, a 2.1 liter, which water-cooled means that it's going to have a radiator. It's got a radiator here in the front, and then it has coolant lines that go all the way to the back to the engine. What VANAGON did was they took the former Bug, the Volkswagen Beetle engine, and they surrounded it with a metal water jacket, and they pump water through it, and now it's a water-cooled engine. So it's very loud when it runs, but it's got that particular Volkswagen sound to it. Most VANAGONs that you see nowadays, this is already gone. This one's still here in pretty good shape. So to get access to the engine, you just have to pop the carpet out, and you can see the white hatch for the engine cover. Now this is a fiberglass engine cover. That's how you'll see it. So what you do is you just pull these two tabs up, turn them a quarter turn to the left, and then use those tabs to actually open up to get access to the engine. And now this engine has not been professionally cleaned. This is a daily driver, but back here you can see the compressor for the air conditioner, the power steering pumps. You can see the cruise control mechanism up here on top. And really no modifications have been done to the engine. It's the largest one that they made. It's 2.1 liter. It's 95 horsepower, which doesn't seem like much, and it certainly doesn't seem like much when you're talking about a 5,000 plus pound vehicle on a 95 horsepower motor with a 3-speed transmission. Top speed in this, if you need to talk about top speed on the flat, is about 85 miles an hour. Any faster than that and you start to smell things getting hot, and it's just not good for the vehicle. But if you want to get out on the highway and cruise at 60 to 65, it'll do it all day long. In fact, this vehicle last year, we brought it from California, 3,600 miles across the United States. It was full to the brim with boxes and weight and had no issues along the way. So I see a lot of videos out there that talk about stealth camping. I just wanted to say this is not a stealth camping van. In fact, I can't drive anywhere in this with at least 1 or 2 people making a comment about it. In fact, even people that remember the Type 1 and the Type 2 buses, they'll come up and they'll make comments about it, you know, that they haven't seen one on the road in a while. So not to mention that the exhaust on it is loud. All right, it's an old bug engine that's surrounded by a water jacket now, so it's going to be a loud motor. So when you come down the road, you're going to make noise. People are going to look at you. You're definitely going to draw attention to yourself and to the vehicle.